The Mystery at Blind Frog Ranch Season 5 just aired its third episode, and many fans are already scratching their heads. Chad Olinger took major steps in the previous episode, diving into a tight underwater cave. The team then saw a mysterious bear marker, as well as another cave that could lead them to a huge treasure room. But some fans are skeptical about some parts of the episode, making them think that everything was for show only. Keep reading to see why. The show is led by the father-son duo, Dwayne and Chad Olinger. The Mystery at Blind Frog Ranch is trying to find the long-lost Aztec treasure. It is believed to be buried within the land they're currently sitting on. They have already uncovered multiple caverns, which seem to be part of a huge system. But at the same time, they're also facing challenges, including the curse to those who are trying to uncover the treasure. This may explain the unusual encounters of the team, including a fast-moving unknown creature in the middle of the night. But some fans think the show is starting to get more obvious that they're just fooling viewers. Some Mystery at Blind Frog Ranch on social media discussed the latest episode of Season 5. According to the OP, they were puzzled about the quick glimpse of the cylinder that was pulled out. It was obvious to them that it was drilled using a modern machine. They also called out the film crew for leaving obvious evidence that the storyline was fake. This also convinced the OP that the show is now purple for entertainment only. Another social media thread also discussed the weird decision-making of Dwayne and Chad Olinger. According to the poster, The Mystery at Blind Frog Ranch obviously had all the budget to hire security or a thermal detector to protect everyone and all their properties at night. There have been many instances where they were invaded by mysterious people or creatures, but they still haven't invested in anything to secure themselves. The OP even believes that catching someone may help them redeem themselves after all the doubts from fans. Darkness clung to the Uinta Basin like a shroud, wrapping its secrets deep beneath the high desert soil. For years, Mystery at Blind Frog Ranch lured viewers with the promise of hidden treasure, unexplained phenomena, and a family's obsession with what lay beneath their land. But after several seasons of explosive finds, cryptic caves, and dramatic tension, a growing contingent of viewers began to suspect something more elusive than Aztec gold was buried in the Utah dirt, a ruse. The show had become a cult favorite among fans of adventure reality TV, praised for its high production value and eerie atmosphere. Dwayne Olinger, the ranch's owner, and his crew were portrayed as men on the edge of discovery, driven by both science and intuition. Viewers watched as they tunneled through caverns, unearthed ancient artifacts, and pursued bizarre magnetic anomalies. Yet, beneath the surface of the show's weekly suspense, murmurs of manipulation grew louder. Early hints came in subtle inconsistencies. Devoted viewers noticed strange editing choices, oddly clean equipment for a supposedly remote and grueling dig site, and suspiciously well-timed discoveries. Objects seemingly ancient emerged from the mud with minimal wear. Caverns that appeared sealed for centuries somehow contained undisturbed camera equipment. For many, these discrepancies initially seemed like typical TV embellishments, dramatic license taken in the name of entertainment. Skepticism began to harden into something more organized. Online forums dedicated to the show lit up with amateur sleuths dissecting every episode frame by frame. Geographic coordinates were cross-referenced with satellite imagery. Timelines were deconstructed. Background details, like weather and lighting, were examined. As the digging intensified on-screen, so did the speculation off-screen. The growing body of circumstantial evidence painted a troubling picture. Some viewers noted that key discoveries occurred at moments too convenient to be coincidental. Others pointed out how certain scenes seemed oddly rehearsed or inconsistent with previous narratives. Claims surfaced that some supposed artifacts bore signs of modern manufacture. One particularly persistent rumor involved a gold bar, purportedly uncovered in a sealed underwater cavern, that bore a chemical composition inconsistent with pre-Columbian metallurgy. Meanwhile, the production crew maintained a steady silence. Official statements remained vague, hinting at ongoing investigations and emphasizing the authenticity of the team's passion rather than the discoveries themselves. Promotional materials continued to highlight new mysteries, even as fans' faith in the show's integrity eroded. Came the footage freeze. One episode featured a cave exploration in which the crew discovered. While the camera panned across the symbols, one viewer captured a single frame showing what looked like a modern screwhead embedded in the rock, seemingly part of a hidden set piece. The clip circulated widely, sparking outrage and a renewed push for transparency. The network quietly removed the episode from its streaming platform, only fueling suspicions. Not long after, several former crew members began anonymously leaking details online. Though none offered concrete evidence, their descriptions suggested elaborate staging, scripted reenactments, and the strategic planting of artifacts. These leaks claimed that producers pushed the crew to deliver dramatic content, and that authentic discovery was sometimes sacrificed in favor of guaranteed spectacle. Fans who had once passionately defended the show turned on it. Review aggregators reflected the change in sentiment, with ratings plummeting and comment sections filled with accusations. For a time, the show's social media accounts limited comments, then eventually went silent. Hashtags that once celebrated treasure hunts now trended with calls for accountability. The controversy reached a boiling point when a popular investigative YouTuber released a 2-hour exposé titled Blind Deception: The Real Mystery of Blind Frog Ranch. The video compiled years of fan investigations, insider interviews, and forensic analysis of key scenes. It argued that while the ranch itself was real and potentially rich in history, the events shown on television were not only manipulated but, in some cases, completely fabricated. One section of the exposé focused on geological data. Independent experts analyzed footage of supposed mineral veins and tunnel compositions, concluding that much of the terrain shown couldn't support the claims of ancient tunnels or treasure vaults. Another segment broke down lighting patterns and shadow inconsistencies in cave sequences, implying that some explorations were filmed on constructed sets rather than inside actual caverns. The exposé went viral, and while the production company issued a brief statement defending the integrity of the show as entertainment inspired by real events, few found comfort in the phrasing. The phrase "inspired by" became a rallying cry for disillusioned fans, many of whom felt duped by what they believed was a genuine documentary-style investigation. Despite the backlash, there remained a segment of the audience that continued to believe. Some argued that the anomalies were simple production oversights. Others maintained that the truth was being suppressed by larger forces, government agencies, corporate interests, or powerful entities who didn't want the truth about the ranch's energy anomalies revealed. These defenders saw the controversy as part of the broader mystery rather than proof of deception. As the dust settled, the network quietly announced that the next season would be placed on indefinite hiatus. No final explanation was given. The crew was reportedly released from their contracts, and activity on the ranch slowed to a crawl. A drone flavor video posted by a local enthusiast months later showed the once bustling dig site abandoned, excavation machinery rusting under the desert sun. Speculation about the true nature of Blind Frog Ranch hasn't faded. If anything, the controversy breathed new life into its legend. Paranormal investigators, skeptics, and conspiracy theorists alike continue to visit the area, each hoping to uncover what lies beneath the red earth. For some, The mystery is no longer about lost gold or ancient civilizations, but about how a television show managed to walk the tightrope between fiction and reality so convincingly. The Case of Mystery at Blind Frog Ranch became a cautionary tale in the realm of reality television. It highlighted the increasingly blurry line between entertainment and authenticity, and how easily audiences, hungry for wonder and suspense, can be drawn into narratives that seem too thrilling to be true. In the end, perhaps the real treasure at Blind Frog Ranch wasn't gold or artifacts at all. It was attention, engagement, and belief, commodities more valuable than any hidden relic. Whether the show truly fooled its audience or merely offered a dramatized version of events, it left behind a legacy of speculation, frustration, and fascination.